Good afternoon, and I hope something sweet is happening to you. It's happening here. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I'm prepping for a market on Saturday, the mistletoe market here in Dade City, and I'm doing some prep work for that. I've got some orders I've got to get out. Things don't always come together in one step. Sometimes I work on one part, put it away, work on another part, put it away, and then come back and put it all together. So these videos will get linked together sometime in the next week or so, and you'll see everything that we're doing to get ready. What we're going to work on right now is the filling for candy that I've been knowing about since I was a little girl. My mother made it, and then I started making it after I got grown and married. It's called Martha Washington candy, and it's not named after Martha Washington, George's wife. It's named after a candy store from many years ago. It has many, many variations, and some of you may make it and you may not make it the same way I do. Sometimes we are dictated to by things we like and things we don't like. It's rather a nougat center made with butter and confectioner's sugar and sweetened condensed milk. And then there are add-ins. Pecans are almost always one of the add-ins, and I have very finely chopped, almost ground pecans for the middle. The other thing that's not mentioned in a lot of recipes, but that I really like, are chopped maraschino cherries. They have to be chopped up pretty small because the balls that we make are not going to be very big. This is the ingredient. Almost all the recipes call for coconut, but guess what, guys? I don't like coconut. I don't just not like coconut. I really don't like coconut. So I've made it for years without coconut in it. But I thought, everybody may not feel that way. So I'm going to make the filling, divide it in half, put some extra pecans in one half and some coconut in the other half. And then I'll put those in the refrigerator and let them firm up. And then I'll roll them into balls and dip them in the next few days. But we're going to do that. Let's look at what we need to do that. We have 2 sticks of softened butter. In fact, it almost got too soft. We have 2 sticks of softened butter, 4 cups of confectioner's sugar, and some extra measured over here in case it's not stiff enough. When we get with that, we can stiffen it up. And a can of sweetened condensed milk. I looked in my pantry in the last couple of days and I found 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk that said fat-free. What in the world is that about? We don't need any fat-free sweetened condensed milk for this recipe. We want it full fat, full sweet, and full of flavor. I'm going to get the thing started in the mixer, and I will bring you back and show you what it looks like as we're mixing. Okay, checking in. We've mixed the confectioner's sugar and the sweetened condensed milk and the butter and some vanilla flavoring and a lot of pecans. Still a little bit runny. I always put chopped maraschino cherries in mine. Lots of recipes don't call for that, but I love it. It almost tastes like a chocolate-covered cherry because, at the end of this, we're going to roll it into balls, freeze it, and we're going to dip those balls in chocolate. Some white, some dark, some milk. So we'll have all that, but we have to have it thick enough to roll into balls. But we could have to add some confectioner's sugar. At this point, I'm going to add the cherries and see what it looks. So I'll call you back in just a minute. Okay, I've divided this into 2 different containers. They're still a little bit loose, but I don't know exactly how firm they're going to get in the refrigerator. And I also still have some stuff to add. In this container that is not going to have coconut, I'm going to add the rest of these pecans because that'll help it to thicken like the coconut would if we were going to use that. So we'll stir that in. It's getting thicker. And then it's going to go in the refrigerator probably for a day or 2 before we get ready to scoop it, and then we'll freeze it before we dip it. If at any point in time we feel like it's not thick enough, we can always add more confectioner's sugar. So that is ready. I think it's all mixed up from the bottom. That is all done. We will put the top on it and put it in the refrigerator. And now my least favorite part, we're going to add the coconut to this. My daughter just said that is her favorite part. And poor thing, she doesn't get a lot of stuff with coconut in it because guess what? I don't make a lot of stuff with coconut in it. It's funny how we don't make the things that we don't like very much, do we? Oh, look at that. That's going to be a perfect consistency. Look at that. Can't lick this spoon. Well, won't lick this spoon. All right, so now we have two different centers. They're ready to be covered. They'll go in the refrigerator and they'll firm up, and then we'll come back tomorrow or the day after and we'll roll them into balls and get ready to dip them in chocolate. Doesn't that sound absolutely delicious? And that's because it is. See you soon. Hope something sweet's happening to you. Another dipped candy that I'm going to make this week is peanut butter balls. If you want to be fancy, they're called peanut butter truffles. I always call them peanut butter balls. So this afternoon, we are going to mix the middle of it, put it in the refrigerator so that when we're ready to roll things out and getting ready to dip our stuff into chocolate, we'll have it all ready. When we roll it into balls, I put them in the freezer, get them cooked really hard so that they're easier to dip in the chocolate. It also means that I can pull out some and dip them, leave the rest in the freezer. I don't have to dip them all at the same time. We don't need that much candy all at the same time. So we'll have them in the freezer. They can stay in there until we're ready to mix them again. For the middle to these peanut butter balls or truffles, we are going to use 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're going to use 2.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. We're going to use some vanilla flavoring, a little bit of salt, and a cup of peanut butter. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to put our butter in and we're going to beat just the butter for 2 minutes until it's light and fluffy. So I'm going to get it started. I'm going to beat it for 2 minutes and then we'll come back and take the next step. The butter has been beating for 2 minutes. It's nice and smooth and fluffy. We're going to turn the mixer off and we're going to add a cup of creamy peanut butter. I guess you could use crunchy. The recipe calls for creamy, and that's what we're doing. Oops, touch the mixer with it. What's your favorite brand of peanut butter? I confess I typically buy the store brand unless I'm making something that really needs a specific kind. I usually buy the store brand. I do like Jif a lot. I still like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Even as an old grandmother kind of person, I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Every so often, a nice piece of toast and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich just hits the spot. We're going to combine this butter and peanut butter for a minute. Then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. The peanut butter and the butter are blended together very nicely. We're going to add a pinch of salt. It is my suspicion that if you use salted butter, it would be okay and you just wouldn't add that pinch of salt. That's just me. We're going to add some vanilla and then we're going to add our confectioner's sugar. And I'm going to turn it down on low because if you put the confectioner's sugar on in with the mixer too high, you live in a cloud of powdered sugar. And we don't want to do that. So we're going to add it slowly. Let it blend. We'll stop it in just a minute and scrape down the sides. We've almost got it all in there. There it goes. Put that one there. We'll turn the mixer off. Make sure we've got everything scraped up from the bottom and from the sides. It says it will be crumbly, but when you put it in the refrigerator and then you use your hands to roll it out, it will help it warm up, and it'll be able to be formed into the balls that we're going to dip into our chocolate. But we're still going to mix it a little bit more. Oh, it's getting really close. All right, we're going to pull this down. We're going to take the paddle out. See how crumbly it is? That's all right. I can already feel when my hands start to work with this peanut butter and butter, it's going to be warm enough that it's going to allow me to make really nice little balls to be ready to dip into some chocolate. What kind of chocolate do you think I should use? I am a fan of milk chocolate. So many people really like dark, and I think white looks really pretty. You think I should use some of all of it? I haven't decided for sure yet. Again, there will be some of these at the Dade City Mistletoe Market. If you come look for Something Sweet is About to Happen's booth and find some of these goodies that we've been putting together in the last few days. I'm going to put this in a container, put it in the refrigerator, and it will be waiting for me when I'm ready to work with it again in the next couple of days. See you back then.